Welcome to WGTV, and today's battle report is between the magnificent Lumineth realm lords and the deprived, delusioned flesh-eater courts. Before battle can be joined though, we must know what scenario we're playing, and for that, let me hand you over to our cleric.
Starstrike. In certain places in the mortal realms, the land is bombarded by fragments of magical ore that fall burning from the skies. These remnants of stars are coveted by ambitious warlords, as they can be used to forge deadly blades that will cut through any armour. Each player scores victory points at the end of their turns as follows. Score 3 victory points if you control at least one objective. Score 3 victory points if you control more objectives than your opponent. Score 4 victory points if you completed the battle tactic you chose to attempt this turn. The twist. At the start of the first battle round, after determining the active player must set up one objective on the boundary between both players' territories. At the start of the third battle round, after determining the active player must set up one objective on each of the long parallel lines in each player's territories. To determine the location of each objective, roll 2d6 and refer to the map below. Roll separately for each objective. If an objective would be set up wholly or partially on a terrain feature, do not do so. Instead, inflict d6 mortal damage on each unit wholly or partially on that terrain feature. Roll separately for each unit. The underdog can make the active player re-roll the dice for the mortal damage inflicted on each of the underdog's units is being determined. Then that terrain feature becomes an impact site. Control of an impact site terrain feature counts as control of an objective for the purposes of scoring victory points. Good luck, warriors, and let battle commence.
It's time for Feck turn 1, and you've seen the list. You know what I'm up to. We love the terrorgheist. That's what it's all about. So let's get the turn started. To start off with, we went for address loyal subjects. Rolled a couple of dice, got 1 for a noble deed point. Looking over there, centre of the board, nice and open. Let's go seize the centre for the battle tactic. Locked in. We can count on Brutus and Pinky to do that one for us. We got Purple Sun off with the mighty Sovereign of Screams. So that was basically my hero phase. Teach did spend a command point.
Well, since Ben has auxiliaries coming out of his eyeballs, I thought I might as well spend one of my many command points on a magical intervention. So I went for a fairly ambitious one. It's Protection of Hysh, which, because it's -1 to cast, I needed a 9 on the dice, just got a 7, so no dice, as it were.
And then the heavens opens. The stars fell from the sky. We rolled pretty low for where the objective would land, all the way over here with 2 and a 3. So yeah. Rupert and Twin One really appreciated that, so they've, as you can see, moved up onto there. Everyone else moved forward. The Ghoul King on Terrorgheist just jumped over here a little bit. Purple Sun stayed exactly where it was. And then over in this corner, Twin 2 absolutely legging it up the board. trying to get up as far as possible, just to try and stop any potential take the flanks with these pesky Lumineth. I don't think you did any redeploys, did you, T?
No, didn't feel the need to do anything really.
Nope.
Just watch you fly towards me.
At great speed upon noble steed. Out of range of shooting, or screaming, as I like to say. Teach also out of range. Charges, there was none. I'm brave, not that brave, not yet. We want to fight on my terms. And then other than that, that was the turn. A whopping 10 points for me, and Teach with some work to do.
Lots of work to do, too many bats. Lumineth, turn 1. The pompous elves decided that this wall of bats must be broken. So we girded our loins, we shined our armour, and we thought, let's see how many bats we can kill. So starting with the hero phase, with the battle tactic in fact, we went for slay the entourage, because I thought, I've got to kill at least one terrorgheist this turn. Because if I only kill one a turn, there's still lots left at the end of the game. So let's see what we can do. We'll go for slay the entourage, and we lined up Pinky, who I believe, Ben, is the oldest.
He is. He's the oldest to me, bordering nearly 10 years old. Poor fella.
So I decided to kill a 10-year-old.
It gets worse, viewers, don't worry.
Oh man, I'm an educator, for God's sake. So, we then went into magic. I was just in range with my general to the Bladelords, who were over here by the side of my shrine. They were wholly within 18 of him, so he cast Speed of Hysh on them to give them an extra 4-inch movement. He then failed Protection of Hysh again, which is fairly crucial. It's a nice little 5-up ward bubble, that one, and I failed it twice now. And then the Wind Mage over here managed to get the Gnashing Jaws out over here, because I thought something needs to threaten this objective, but it's probably not going to be Wind Chargers, so let's try and get something over there. And that was kind of it for hero phase. Did the Facets of War, where by power of Hysh on the Dawnriders to give them mortal wounds on 5s to hit. And then I said I was going to do Move Like the Wind with the Hurricane model, so after they're shot they can move 2d6, or 3 units of them can. Ben decided, you didn't counter magic, did you?
No, I didn't. I gritted my claws into the soil of this putrid earth and braced for impact.
Speaking of which, everything then moved up. So the Dawnriders were 3 away from their quarry. The Bladelords moved up 10. The Lord Regent, my general, moved up behind the Dawnriders to hopefully use his ability. These two were up here, as you may have seen on the time lapse, and the Wind Chargers were up this flank over here, trying to get some shots off, and everything moved again after the shooting phase. Speaking then of the shooting phase, you redeployed though then, didn't you?
Yes. Yeah, because you were just within 12 with the Wind Chargers, so crafty Twin 1 over here was like, no, and redeployed 3 inches back. It did bring me off the objective, but took me out of range of any shooting attacks coming in from over there.
So yeah, I did think maybe with the Move Like the Wind ability and hopefully getting the charge off with the Gnashing Jaws, I might maybe threaten that objective. Spoiler alert, neither of those things happened, but there we go. So on to the charge phase. The Dawnrider, the shooting phase. The 2 Spirits of the Wind were the only things left in range, but they were both in range of the thing that I was trying to kill. Which was Pinky.
Thank you. I'm going to keep you make saying his name.
Thing.
He was only 10 years old.
and everything else is younger.
Yep.
So the two Spirits of the Wind decided to open fire at the entourage, and they are anti-monster, so they're -3 rend and 3 damage a pop and 4 shots each.
I did all out defence for that one.
But yeah, between them, they took off the 14 wounds needed, and off went. What was his name? Pinky, was it?
Pinky, may he rest in peace. A 10-year-old.
The 10-year-old. So then, having already achieved the battle tactic, the Dawnriders thought, well, let's go kill another one. So we charged into Brutus.
The youngest terrorgheist.
We had originally engaged Tiny, but then ended up piling away from him because Ben countercharged with his general.
Yes, in a noble feat to try and keep both alive, trying to force Teach to split his attack.
So I thought, well, why not try and kill 3 in a turn then? So I managed to get 6 Dawnriders into the general and ended up attacking Brutus with 4. And weirdly enough, the 6 didn't get the job done, but the 4 did. So Brutus went down to the
not even
lances.
6 months old is Brutus, not even 6 months old.
The lances of the Dawnriders took out Brutus, but they couldn't quite get the general. We got 15 wounds on him, so just 3 left.
Yes, yeah, because he has Stronger in Madness, so he has an extra 2. But we did attack back.
You did.
Killed
2 Dawnriders to the wound.
But more importantly, the Ghoul King did it.
Yeah.
So we're up to 6 noble D points there now, which now means he has a 5-up ward because of Stronger in Madness. And everyone around him within 12, wholly within 12, gets an extra attack. It's brilliant.
It sounds brilliant. But there we go, that was the turn. I didn't get onto the objective, did I? So I just get the battle tactic for killing Pinky.
Yep.
And so 4 plays 10.
Priority, sir.
And we have a priority roll.
A priority where it matters. Feck with a white dice. Oh! Will he take it? 6 points down. This day and age, that's a lot.
Sort of think we've got to take it, because 6 points down means it's less of a problem.
Yeah.
So yeah.
The board stays green.
Lumineth turn 2. Lumineth, turn 2. So, in our pompous ways, we decided last turn we killed 2 terrorgheists. Weren't satisfied with that. Let's go after 3 this time. But I digress, because it's a game of tactics, isn't it? And you have to choose a battle tactic. So I thought, well, I'm pretty much in the centre. Let's seize the centre. How hard can it be? Chose some facets of war, same 2 again, so I did Power of Hysh on the Dawnriders and the Move Like the Wind on the Hurricane, and then did some spells. Finally got Protection of Hysh off with the Lord Regent, so I've got a nice little ward bubble going on around him at the moment. And then I banished the Purple Sun, that is no longer there. And you can't see it, or you may be able to see it. Come over here, let me show you. We got a Burning Head here as well. So that was out from the Wind Mage. Ben did magically intervene?
I tried to do Miasma of Madness onto the Dawnriders, but I failed to cast miserably. So yeah. That was that.
So on to movement, and I thought, well, it's probably high time we at least threatened this objective. So the Wind Mage stuck his toe on it here, and I did have 5 Dawnriders over here. Not Dawnriders, Wind Chargers over here, lipping this objective here. Inky and Blinky moved up over here. They were looking to shoot off Ben's general, who was here. But also threaten these other terrorgheists over here, and particularly the one that was holding the objective.
Then the Bladelords moved up as close as they could because they've not been very good at charging so far. So hopefully they were going to be all right this time. The Lord Regent, seeing that he had the numbers, decided to stick his little neck out and put himself in position for a charge as well. Ben didn't. Oh, did redeploy? Didn't redeploy?
No, I didn't redeploy anything. I thought everything's going to hit me in the face. There's no point trying to run away from it.
So before we hit him in the face, we shot him in the face, and the
Oh, God.
Blinky went first, shot the general. I think took him off.
Yeah, he's middle-aged.
6 wounds through, and the general was no more. Inky then shot at the one that was contesting the objective, which was here. Didn't do much to him, I don't think. I think he got 1 wound through, which is 3 damage, and Ben saved 2 of his wards. So,
Yeah, it was a noble effort, but not noble enough.
well, not when the gnashing jaws are around, it seems. But there we go. You didn't counter-shoot, so
No, I didn't.
So into charges. The Dawnriders were now freed up because of the dead general, so they charged over here into... Who was there?
Tiny.
Tiny was there, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Along with the Bladelords and the Regent, so they've surrounded... they are currently surrounding... Whoa! The skeleton of a terrorgheist. That was dramatic.
A tiny terrorgheist.
A tiny terrorgheist. And the gnashing jaws charged over here. Did his impact hits? Did 6 impact hits?
No, you did loads.
Yeah, it was 6 out of 10,
Yeah.
so 6 5-ups to do quite a lot there. And then used my... Oh, then crucially, countercharge
Oh, yes.
went in.
Twin one over here. Needed a 6 to counter charge. Absolutely smashed it straight into the side of the Wind Riders that were there. There is still one, but yeah.
Still 1 on 1 wound left. But yeah, that fighting was boring though. Well, it was okay because the gnashing jaws killed the terrorgheist that he charged into there, so that was okay. But the real action was over here, where with lightning reflexes, the Dawnriders and the Bladelords just made short work of Tiny over there.
Yeah.
And that was about that.
But I killed what's here.
You did.
Because as I pointed out to Adam, he's just double turned me. We've had a solid 2 rounds of combat. I've got 5 dead terrorgheists. I've only attacked twice. It's been very efficient. However,
however, you know at the start I said this is a game of tactics and you have to select a battle tactic. Well, I selected seize the centre. You can get the camera away from that now. I was too busy killing terrorgheists, to be honest. Who has the time for tactics? Also, I thought I'd pulled a masterstroke by putting enough models on this objective and killing a terrorgheist, but no, because apparently terrorgheist can kill me. So I don't have an objective either. So, nil point, as they say. And it remains 4-10, and Ben's about to have a turn. So, but I've killed 3 terrorgheists. That's good, right?
Feck turn 2, finally, after that miserable double turn. Horrible stuff. Anyway, hero phase. Well, actually no, battle tactic. Do not waver. Hero phase. Done. I ain't got nothing. Only terrorgheist, baby. Teach had 2 command points left and didn't want to spend any. He thought them better use elsewhere. So movement. Twin 2 over in the far corner. Poying for something else, I reckon. He's got something up his little wing. Over here. Other twin, can't remember which one.
Twin 1.
Twin 1 was in
I know them
combat.
better than you do.
I know. It's because you faced them more.
Yeah.
He was already in combat with the Jaws, so I couldn't move with him. Tinky here moved up to 3 inches away from Blinky, who's run away.
That's Inky.
Inky. Yeah.
That's Blinky.
Yeah. And Windy Boy. So yeah, he moved up 3 inches away from them. You redeployed
Did redeploy
Inky, that one. I then screamed and did nothing. So thought it best I put my maw where it needs to be. And charged into Inky?
Blinky.
Blinky. And yeah, like I said, already in combat here, so I didn't need to charge there. Attacked, did 7 wounds to the Gnashing Jaws.
Yep.
6 to Blinky. Did I get it right?
Yeah.
Yep, Blinky. I took 5 back off Blinky and took 3 off the Jaws. But I got Do Not Waver. I have the objective, and somehow 5 terrorghiests down, a 10-point turn, puts me 20, plays 4. I don't know. The dice haven't even been that great, he says, with a priority that will decide
Lumineth.
the game.
Oh,
Yes! Do I want the double though? Because I'll lose points. I could execute Order 66. The board's going to stay red. We're going in. Turn 3 and the 3 terrorghiests. They do the work. Imagine what I could have done with 8 if I wasn't doubled. Oh well, hindsight. So, can't pick a battle tactics. I took the double and I'm more than 6 points ahead. I didn't have a hero phase. I've got no heroes. Teach. Did you do anything in the hero phase?
No, I already had 2 endless spells out. I already had protection of Hysh up. So there wasn't really anything I needed. I wasn't really in range to overwhelming heat something useful, so nothing.
The objectives did fall from the sky though. Slap bang in the middle of the board here, and just slightly off the middle over on that side. Movement, as you can just see there, twin 2 just clipped the objective, making it mine. Shooting. Both terrorghiests screamed so loud. Oh, it's beautiful. We did some damage here into Jaws. I think it was only 1, but still better than none. And then Tinky screamed into Blinky and did a couple of wounds. So we left it all to combat. We went with... No. You shot Tinky first.
I did counter shoot Tinky first. And
Naughty boy.
And he was 1 wound away from death.
Yes.
I did exactly enough to kill him and you ward saved 1 of them.
Yes. Fear not, for the terrorgheist strikes. He went first in combat. We took Blinky. This is getting too hard. All these names. We slayed him. Took a wound off the Jaws and then proceeded to eat the Jaws with the maws. Scoring me 6 points because I can't get a battle tactic, so it puts me 26 to 4 going into Lumineth turn 3.
Lumineth turn 3. So we had a little bit of catching up to do, but that's okay because we were killing terrorgheists and we were feeling good. The comets had landed Not ideally, but in an ideal situation, hopefully for me to be tactical. Those tactics that we talked about before, because I decided previous turn not to redeploy onto one of the new ones because I saw the chance to do attack on 2 fronts, so I thought we'll do that. Because Ben's Terrorgheist was on this one and I was standing right next to that one, so I thought that surely not even I can mess that one up. But well, you can probably see what happened, but we'll come to that in a minute. I did Power of Hysh and Move Like the Wind again as my facets of war. And then for spells, I tried to do a Transporting Vortex from the Wind Mage to try and just plonk something on this objective anyway, but failed that one. And then the Lord Regent got Speed of Hysh on the Bladelords, and I think failed his other spell, didn't get protection off. So they had enough movement just to scoot onto that objective. The Dawnriders and the Lord Regent came this way to deal with this one, and for the first time this game, the Light of Eltharion jumped out of his little house and decided to pick a fight with the Terrorgheist over here. There weren't any redeploys or anything like that, was there? There was no counter shooting, nothing like that. So
you just
on to charges, and there was still a hiccup to come because the Dawnriders failed their charge and had to re-roll it.
Yeah.
So fortunately, I had 6 command points at the start of this turn, so plenty to be doing silly things like re-rolling charges. The Burning Head decided he fancied a fight and went over into that Terrorgheist.
Yeah.
And that was that really for the charges.
Bit of a pillow fight over there, wasn't it?
And then we did lightning reflexes, so the Light of Eltharion and the Dawnriders attacked here. The Light of Eltharion did the heavy lifting actually, he did about 12 wounds by himself. And then the Dawnriders just got some mortal wounds through to finish him off. And then, as you say, a pillow fight over there. But look, I'm standing on objectives. And that also fortuitously means that I've done a battle tactic. So I finally joined the point scoring portion of this game and I've scored 10 points. So 14-26, and we have a priority roll to come.
A very important one, I think, because I think if you get another double on me, that will be...
Oh, I'm not going
but you
to.
haven't.
Unless you give it to me.
I will, but I'm going to take the turn.
Okay.
Effect turn 4. We are barely holding on, but we're doing it. We're clawing at it still. Battle tactic, take their land. Hero phase, nothing. Teach did try to cast a spell. Vortex,
tried to do Transporting Vortex, thinking about future turns, but failed it.
I, like I said, could do nothing, but it was the movement phase. All I did was retreat the Terrorgheist. I know, hate me all you want, thumbs down, put it in the comments. He retreated away from the Burning Head. There's something about this manifestation law that I just don't agree with. So he retreated, getting me my battle tactic, and I'm still holding this. There was no... Oh, there was a redeploy from your Lord Regent, but just a little re-manoeuvre over to the side of the board. There was no counter shooting. I couldn't shoot, sorry. Retreated, which meant I couldn't charge. There was no counter charges. So it was just the 4 points for the battle tactics, 3 points for the one objective, puts me on 33. I'm expecting...
It's now only possible for me to win the game if Ben scores no more points and I score maximum.
No pressure.
Yeah. Lumineth, turn 4. It's getting really tense because I knew I could get a 10-point turn, but if I don't stop Ben scoring any more points, then I can't win the game. So I really needed to kill the last Terrorgheist, really needed to kill it. And this was the turn when my shooting really let me down. So from the top though, we went for take the flanks because I had things in position to be able to do that fairly easily. I was already sat on 2 objectives, so I knew that would be reasonably straightforward. But how I was going to kill this Terrorgheist when my Dawnriders were all the way over here, my Bladelords were hanging around on this objective, and they're my 2 major killer units. Well, step up the fox. He's been killing monsters for fun so far, and I had a little bit more shooting to level at it as well. So I tried to make sure of the battle tactic first of all. So I did a vortex teleport on the Wind Mage to take him over to that flank. The Lord Regent got speed of Hysh off on the Dawnriders because I thought I'll at least try and get them somewhere useful for future turns if necessary. And yeah, so that was kind of the hero phase. You've not got any heroes, so we went on to movement. Everything kind of tried to flood this way, apart from the Lord Regent who went to take that flank. Wind Mage had transported, so he couldn't move. And the Dawnriders ran, so they were on 18-inch move, and they rolled a 5, so they had a 23-inch move, but still it really only gets them kind of somewhere close-ish to where the action needs to be. And this objective has been a thorn in my side ever since it landed before turn 1. So when the action took place, it was all kind of shooting into here, and basically it was a turn of whiff where the Wind Mage missed and the Wind Chargers missed all but 1, and then I think Ben saved it.
Yeah.
And then Inky only got 1 wound through for 3 damage, and I think you ward saved at least 1 of them, didn't you?
Yeah, just 1. He did the 2.
Yeah.
The Burning Head did.
And then the Burning Head
equal amount of damage.
Yeah, same amount as the Vox. So I've not killed that last Terrorgheist. And so this priority roll kind of decides the game.
There's only one problem, Teach.
What's that?
I think with Take the Flanks you can't teleport.
You're right. You're bloody right.
So we'll have to -4 off there.
Yeah, okay. And I've done it on camera again, haven't I? Because the weird thing was, he was in range just to run over there. I think he could have done it just with movement.
Priority?
Yeah. Definitely going to kill that Terrorgheist now. I'm rolling a WGTV dice for this.
Oh no, it's coming. Oh, what do you say, boss? Reroll?
Oh,
it's gone flat.
It's flat, okay. Damn WGTV dice.
Yeah. Well, since I don't need a battle tactic anymore because I can't win the game anymore.
Well, you can still do one because you're below 6.
Oh yeah, true. So yeah, so I'll take it. Lumineth, turn 5, and the objective, to be honest, at the start of this game was kill all the Terrorgheists, so it was still an objective turn 5, we still had 1 to kill. But, you know, we played the game. Having missed out on 2 battle tactics from my own stupidity, I thought, well, I might as well get 1 this turn, and we'll do take their land, which was a banker. So yeah, we went for that. And probably somebody on camera is now going to tell me that I've failed it for some reason, but no.
I'm not going to lie. I thought you did. I looked down and I was like, that's bigger than 3 inches. But luckily, the Lord Regent's there.
Yeah.
I did have a brief moment of panic. I looked down and I was like, it's okay.
He was the first model I moved in the movement phase to make sure that I got that. But yeah, and you sure that's in your territory, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, good.
I think.
Good. I'm allowed to move next to it. I don't have to. Okay, cool. Right.
Why did you teleport?
Not this time. No, I learned my lesson, sort of. So yeah, I did some spells. I got this is the other moral victory. I've got moral victories everywhere in this game because young Benny here, you might not know this, viewers, but he is phobic of the Emerald Life Swarm. He hates it.
Shivers. The amount of times dirty things have been done to me by that Emerald Life Swarm. It's not a healer.
And look over here. There it is.
It came for me, viewers. It tried on the very last turn.
So there you go. Really, the battle tactic was take their land, but really the only objective this turn was kill the last terrorghiests. So we brought Blinky across. Inky. I keep getting it wrong now. We brought the Wind Chargers across. We brought the Wind Mage across, and we brought the Dawnriders across. And we thought, well, if that doesn't do it, nothing can. But as you can see, there is a terrorgeist-shaped hole here. And the last terrorgeist fell.
It took everything there.
Coating the battlefield with blood.
Yes.
And the Lumineth stand triumphant but not victorious. But as stated, I've got like 6 moral victories, so that counts.
No, it was a very good game.
It was.
I half expected to lose on my terrorgeist, to be fair.
Yeah.
I wasn't expected to win by any means. But yeah, it was definitely good.
Yeah.
My MVP is definitely the survivor to the end. Twin one.
Yeah.
He did it all.
Your MVP, to be honest, is that objective.
Just with twin one on it.
Yeah.
Dual package.
Yeah, the Star Strike did rather foil me there,
yes.
But also my own inability to read what battle tactics do. But fun was had.
It was.
And another fun game between the two of us.
Yes, very good.
Tune in next time.
Bye for now.
Bye.